Hey, and Joel, with that being said, I think we're at a good spot right now. I'm going to hand it over to you to kick it off.
Sure, we'll get going. Everybody, thank you for joining our RingCentral Solutions webinar. I know there might be a few people on the call that don't know PremCom. Most people do, but just in case you don't, we are a managed service provider, IT solutions provider here in Buffalo. We specialize in kind of all sides of the network, specialize in network security. We even have a cabling division, which is how we started the company in 1992. But we are widely known for basically bringing voice over IP to this area in the early 2000s. Of course, back then it was all on prem phone systems, and now, of course, it's all about the cloud, right? So we're doing this webinar series this week, and it wouldn't be a Cloud Voice webinar series if we didn't include RingCentral and let them present. They are one of our top vendors, and there's somebody everybody knows, and that's for a good reason. So I know there's a lot of current RingCentral customers on the call today. Because of that, we're going to be going over a lot of new features in the second half of the webinar, but we also know that there's people who have never seen RingCentral at all. So first half, we're going to kind of be going through more of the basics of RingCentral. Um, Something that I wanted to let everybody know is at the end of the week on Friday, we are going to be sending everybody who joined the webinar something called a favor drop. And what will happen is you'll get an email and you'll be able to get a couple bucks to a restaurant of your choosing, whoever is on the favor drop platform. Uh, so we partnered with this company, and the whole idea is support local. So it's going to have some local restaurants on there that you can choose, and you can get a few bucks, like I said, to go out and eat on us. I know RingCentral will be doing a giveaway at the end, but we wanted everybody to kind of be winners. And it's a nice way for us to give you guys a little something for showing up, as well as help support some of the local restaurants here in the Buffalo area. After the webinar, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. My email address is right below, or you can reach out to your sales rep directly. But we have a lot to get to today, so I'll send it back over to Steve and we can get going.
Awesome. Thanks, Joel. And yeah, thanks for mentioning we do have a giveaway at the end. So hold tight for that. And as Joel mentioned, for those that aren't familiar with RingCentral, I just want to kind of introduce you to the company, and then we're going to talk a lot about some of the new products, specifically a lot of AI as well. That is the buzzword, right? And for most companies today, and what it can do for them. So RingCentral, I've been with the company now 4.5 years. I'm out of Denver. I'm an enablement manager that supports partners, supports you as customers. And one of the things that really struck me, I came from a huge telecom carrier that RingCentral started in 1999, and I had no idea it had been around that long. And it was a company that was born into the cloud. Actually started first with fax, and then it was immediately into cloud PBX with phone. And you can kind of see the timeline there. I'm not going to go through everything here that you see on the screen, but as the company has grown, it's evolved with its technology. And I think that's important for customers to know that you want to work with a reputable company, you want to work with somebody that has skin in the game. They've been there a long time, they're continuing to evolve. I think one of the things to point out there is the star on that map, which is where we purchased Deep Effect in 2020, which really kind of catapulted us into the AI world. For the last 4 years, we've been developing our AI platform, which you're going to see here today when Dennis does a demo of that. So for RingCentral, I think the main idea is it's a company that has to continue to evolve to stay relevant, like every company does. Starting with phone systems, you can see everything there on the outside of that orange rainbow. I'm not going through every single product today, but there's a lot of solutions that work on one single platform, meeting the needs of various industries, various size companies, and various verticals as well. And one of the benefits of moving to cloud is having that open platform. So you can see there in that second kind of tier, the integrations that you can utilize within um, your message, video, and phone platform for your employees that make it easy for them to kind of toggle through different applications, pull information, and do business. And one of the most important things is people that aren't familiar with cloud. I find when I talk to customers out there, it's the hesitancy about security. Well, how secure is it? We could do a whole section on our 7 layers of security of what the end user controls to our 24/7 just surveillance of our cloud looking for any suspicious activity. We've never had a breach. We've never had a data breach. It's a very secure system that you're using. And we want to make sure, especially for customers in maybe financial services, healthcare, that they have that peace of mind. So Joel had mentioned, hey, some of you might be using RingCentral today or a cloud solution. That's fantastic. For those that aren't, why are people making that jump? One of the biggest reasons is cost savings. If you think about your old on-premises system that you may have, the cost of hardware, the cost of onboarding, cost of setting new employees up, the lack of mobility, the lack of integrations, there's a lot of benefits to moving to a cloud-based solution. And one of the best benefits for myself, I would say, the first time that I joined RingCentral was the ability for me to do my work on my laptop, my phone, my PC. I was on vacation this weekend. I actually was able to listen to a call on a flight home. Really able to keep up with everything wherever I am, as long as I have some Wi-Fi internet connection. I'm good to go. So or I can still use it off my phone carrier as well. So the ability to work anywhere, anytime for your employees and have that flexibility is huge. So one of the other things along security, when customers ask, well, how reliable is it? That's a huge win. I would say that we position ourselves against any others within our market space as reliability. Now, remember, we started in 1999. We have a very solid platform. We've had 5 straight years of a 5.9 SLA. So that really equates to less than 2 minutes a quarter of downtime. And in the last quarter, the last couple quarters, we've had 6.9 SLA. So it's up and running. You don't have to worry about the system going down. And a lot of times that downtime is done when we're doing some kind of software upgrade to our cloud itself at 2 a.m. when probably nobody's working. So the reliability is there. So what's our bread and butter? This is something that we used to call MVP. And this is an application that is message, video, and phone that I can use on any device that I have. Again, this is how I stay connected when I'm on the run. We are now calling this, just so people that are using this today, we actually had a branding change this week, and we're calling this Ring EX. And EX, for most of you already probably know this, that's employee experience. Because this application is really geared toward internal companies allowing their employees to communicate in various different ways and integrate all the different applications that I mentioned earlier, Salesforce, Google Teams, which we're going to see today as well, within our platform. So what can I do? Why is this different than others? Again, I feel for myself, it starts with the reliability and the security. So you're already having that solid platform. Secondly, a couple of things that I'll point out here. I'll give you a quick tour of the application. If you look at the left-hand side, you can see there's a video, there's a phone icon. So I have the ability to switch a messaging call if I'm just DMing someone to a phone call or a video call with just a click of a button. And I can also do this within a group as well. I can switch devices. So right now I'm sitting in my kitchen. I'm sitting on my laptop. I'm going to go to the office after this, but if I was attending this call, I had to go pick up my kids at school, I could flip this to my smartphone and I would never miss a beat. So I could jump in my car, plug it in my Bluetooth, I could continue to listen. So I can toggle through different devices, which is fantastic as well. I think another thing that's a big winner here compared to others out there within the cloud industry, it's unlimited file size sharing. So for those customers out there that are sharing large videos, large photos, if it's construction, even healthcare, whatever your business might be, and you don't want to clog up email, obviously, you have unlimited file size sharing, and the thread never goes away, which is amazing. So I have a 4-year thread with some people. And I can also pin videos or pictures as well to save them. So it just makes it really easy to communicate internally with this. And it also allows me, I can invite others outside of my company that might not be using RingCentral. I can still chat with them. So I can send them an invite and they get that via email, they click on it, and then we can have a one-on-one chat if you want to use that functionality as well. So this is now Ring EX. So for those of you that for us, I know at RingCentral, this is new for us, so I got to get MVP out of my speech pattern. But for those of you that are going to start hearing the term Ring EX, this is still what it is. Same functionality of what it does for you today. It's just a branding now for employee experience. But we've added on to Ring EX, and I want to talk about our AI platform before we get into our demo. So I know it's early in the morning, but ice cream still looks good to me. But I want to talk about what we call RingSense. RingSense for us here is our native AI platform. So remember, if you go back to that map in 2020, we purchased the company. We've been developing our AI platform now for the last 3+ years, going on 4 years. RingSense is our AI platform that we can bolt onto a lot of the different solutions that we sell today. And we're going to look at a few of those, and you're going to see a demo of RingSense for Sales, so I'm not going to talk about that. But these are some of the solutions that you can power on with that our AI RingSense to really enhance the user experience and enhance the data and the analytics that you get post calls, post meetings with customers out there. So RingSense for EX, we're going to look at, that's what I just showed you, that screenshot. RingSense for Sales is something that Dennis is going to demo, and that's really driven for companies that do a lot of high-end calling, a lot of high-end outbound, inbound calling with customers. It gives them great analytics. You'll see that live in action. And then I'm going to just kind of walk through what we have for RingSense for CX, which is our contact center solution. So we're going to look at these three today and how AI really helps customers out there. So let's start with RingSense for EX. So because we already looked at that kind of screenshot of what it looks like. So what does this add on to what the capabilities are today? So if you're using that platform today with RingSense, it's only going to enhance what you can currently do. And again, this with Ring EX, this is something that's vital for companies for internal communications. So high level, again, this is something, get with Joel if you want to see a demo of this. We'll bring in somebody to demonstrate this as well. But some of the new features that are added on now with this AI capability with RingSense, real-time smart notes. So as I'm on a call, it is taking smart notes real time, the transcription of that conversation of what's taking place. It also has noise reduction built in as well. So if I'm in a busy environment, it's going to help kind of bring that noise reduction down during that call. But if you think about selling this for yourself as a customer, I should say, using this, what does it do for you as a customer? I'm a note taker when it comes to any call I'm on. I have a book right here. I take endless amounts of notes on every call, but I'm not the best organized when it comes to taking my notes. I can go back and I can look at the transcriptions from the call so I can see what took place. I can also get some post-call highlights so I can get kind of some cliff notes. I'll give you a better screenshot of that in just a minute if you're using this application of what it does for you. It also helps me construct with AI some of the writing. It can predict based off of my past writings and kind of my patterns once I start messaging and kind of fulfill that out for me. So it saves me some time. And it also has AI GPT style search, which if you haven't used that before, that'll help you when it comes to researching past calls, formulating questions throughout a call. And it also has language transcription. So if I'm messaging somebody who is in another country, it can transcribe that into another language as well. So RingSense, for those of you that are using what we used to call MVP, which is now RingEX, is just going to enhance the data that you're going to get, the user experience that you're going to get as well. A little more on that. I talked about live transcriptions. In summary, I'm going to show you here in a second. But sentiment analysis is something that's now built into this as well when you have the AI built into RingEX. And what sentiment analysis is going to do for you is allow you to understand for your workers out there and for those that are using the application, hey, when are things getting heated during a conversation? What is their sentiment sounding like? How are they coming across? When is the escalations taking place? What topics are being talked about? Again, with I know I mentioned it's such the buzzword. AI is really just allowing us to gather more data to allow businesses to understand where we need to coach better, where we need to develop our employees better, and what our customers and the people that you may be working with are saying to you. So this is, if for those of you that are using the application today, this is a very underutilized tool that's already available for you. So if you're using RingEX, which used to be MVP, so let's make sure now it's RingEX, and you're using our video solution within the application, you can actually activate live transcriptions. It's on the bottom bar there, just hit the three dots and you can go ahead and hit that. And it'll give you, after a video call, whether it be one-on-one, maybe you have a small team meeting, a full summary of it. I can search for keywords from that meeting. So if I'm on vacation, I'm off for a week and I come back and I have all these meetings I missed and they're using an application, I can, if somebody had activated the transcriptions, I can go in there, search keywords. I can look at specific speakers. So you can see on the bottom left, it has those blue bars. I can click on that for certain persons. So if I want to hear an executive talk track, it's just a good way to summarize and make it easy for me to catch up on meetings. And I can also get some quick highlights as well. So for those of you using the application today, if you haven't used this functionality, it's available for you. Totally use it. This is something, like I mentioned, I was just on vacation coming back. I'm not going to listen to every call that I missed, but I can go in there and get the highlights and I can search for the people that I need to listen to that are speaking throughout that meeting that just took place. So that's RingEX. So we mentioned that's employee experience. One of the reasons I feel like we branded that RingEX is we want to make sure that we have consistency in the naming. So now we have RingCX, which is our customer experience. And RingCX, for those of you that are familiar with RingCentral, is something that we just launched last year. It's our own native contact center experience. And when we launched RingCX, I'll tell you our focus was, hey, we have a contact center right now that we're selling, but we're really selling it mostly to a lot of enterprise, large businesses. We're maybe missing kind of the boat here on being competitive within SMB space, mid-market space. So we have to have something that is viable, that has a lot of functionality, and has a great price point that we can bring to the table for customers out there that are looking for a better way to communicate with the people that they do business with. So I'm sure there's many of you might have a contact center solution. Maybe some of you are just using email and phone still. But when we think about the development of companies and where they're going, one of the biggest cost savings is keeping customers. So how you communicate with your customers is vital to the success of your business. And in today's environment, we know that customers many times don't want to call in. They want to use a digital interaction. They want to use social media. They want to have the ability sometimes to just chat with a bot and solve their own problems. So RingCX kind of addresses a lot of these at a really solid price point. So for our customers out there, I'll tell you, I just saw a company. I look at the different companies that are using RingCX so I can understand why. The last one I read about was a legal firm where they had their managers listening to 20, 30 calls every day, every other day, taking up too much of their time. They were looking for call quality, looking for sentiment on the call, where RingCX really kind of helped them. And I'll talk about that, kind of narrow down what calls they should be listening to. And even more important, it maximized their agents' performance because it allowed them to simplify the conversations they were having with customers. So RingCX, that contact center, it has 20 plus digital channels. So for your customers out there, they do have the ability to use various social media to contact your company to say they have an issue and have a conversation to solve that. There's still inbound and outbound calling for those that choose that. There's integrations with Salesforce, Zendesk. RingCX is something that we launched last year. It's been doing very well, and CRM integrations is something that's going to be expanding, I would say, exponentially here this year. We're going to be adding on a lot more CRMs. It unifies with RingEX. I should have changed that on the slide. It says MVP. So we talked about RingEX. So it works in conjunction with RingEX, which is great because I have the ability to still use RingEX to talk to people internally while I'm on a call if I need some assistance. And it also allows me to tell people within my company, hey, I'm talking to a customer, so you cannot, you can't bug me right now. You can't call me. That's that bi-directional presence. So if I'm on a call with RingCX, or if I'm talking to a customer, chatting with them via social media, whatever it may be, it's going to tell people within my company that I'm not available right now to talk. So what do I get in addition to those interactions when it comes to some of the AI capabilities? Now, what's built into RingCX today? This comes with the package. Before the interaction with the customer, I'm going to get some notes. What did we talk about previously? What some problems that may have arisen? Well, what we left it at. During the interaction, I'm going to get some AI assistance from coaching. So anything that I can program as a company, look at it as a virtual playbook. So I can put in there what questions I want my reps to ask when certain topics come up. And then after the call, I'm going to get some post-call transcripts of, hey, this is what happened. This is the next steps. This is what the agent can do to be more effective. Now, when we think about that's RingSense for CX, and then when we add, sorry, that's RingCX, when I add on RingSense to it, that's our AI platform. That just bolsters, I like to say it's an AI steroid for RingCX. It's really going to bring more to the table when it comes to coaching and analytics. Um, Again, this is something we could totally demo. Go back to Joel if you want to see this. One of the things that I find very, very helpful, especially I worked in a call center at a very young age, very hard job. My managers had to sift through so many calls to identify maybe key patterns, some things that are continuing to come up. With RingSense for CX, they can kind of put in there, hey, I want to know when this company is mentioned, this product is mentioned, pricing is mentioned, and really I can get a bird's eye view of what's taking place on these calls, how many times this is being brought up, how it's being handled, what are the outcomes of that. So it allows me as a coach or as a manager to coach my reps and really even maybe position something differently within the company of what we're looking at when we're having conversations with customers out there. So just think about for yourselves, RingCX really is that outbound conversation you're having. It provides some great information, add on some additional AI to that, and it really is going to save your management, your reps a ton of time when it comes to talking to customers and kind of identifying different issues that they're having out there. So why is RingCX winning? What I've been seeing, at least from customers, I think I've mentioned all this, so I'm not going to go through this and labor every single point. It's very simple to use. The other thing I do want to mention, it's easy to deploy. Contact centers, and I think a lot of companies, especially SMB, mid-market space, pull away for a few reasons. Number one, it is so hard to implement on a very complex contact center solution, where with RingCX, very easy to deploy. Number two is its price point, the value of it. a lot of companies say, hey, I'm not going to spend $135 a seat for a contact center solution, whatever it may be in that area. And it's expensive for a lot of companies out there to do that. Where now you have a very high value contact center solution that's going to be, less half of that, if not more, for a price standpoint when you think about what this is going to do for our company to make sure that we're keeping our customers out there. So again, RingCX is something that we launched last year. And then before I hand it off here for our demo, because we are going to look at RingSense for sales, I'm going to have Dennis walk you through that. And he's also going to show you the Teams integrations. And I will tell you here at RingCentral, we have a kind of a motto, I would say, is to complete Teams. We don't need to compete against Teams. For those that are using Teams today, we know it's a beast. We know they're one of the biggest companies out there. And so we have to figure out a way where how can we enhance that customer experience for those that are using Teams today? And we really kind of hit that in two different areas. And if any of you have been impacted by this, I know this year in January there was a couple big outages for Microsoft Teams. It was all over the news. I mentioned our 5.9 SLA, which has been 6.9 the last 2 quarters. Teams kind of toggles with a 4.9, 3.9 probably for their phone. We'll see how it plays out at the end of the year. So reliability is a big thing for customers out there. So some of the limitations that you may feel if you're using Teams that you can be supported, number one is reliability. And then if you look at some of the other topics there that are listed, I would say one of the biggest ones is no SMS, MMS, or fax. I just heard that from a lot of customers on a panel the other day that they were limited in that. Some of the integrations they were limited to, the analytics as well, that they would wanted a little more analytics with what they were not getting with Teams today. So we have an application that you're going to see that'll help you with that. That actually embeds our phone application within the Teams app for the users out there, and you're going to get a demo of that. And Dennis is going to probably take you a little bit deeper into that. So, Dennis, I was trying to tee you up there. I hope I did an okay job.
That was very nice, Steve. Thank you very much. Okay, so there were two things. I'm guessing, Steve, you ready for me to go ahead and take over? Are you all finished?
Yeah, go for it. All you.
Okay. So two things that I wanted to show you today, and Steve set me up for both. First and foremost, I wanted to go in and give you a little rundown of the Teams embedded dialer. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here so you can see what's going on. So key here with Teams, this is the new Teams, is how does the RingCentral application complete Teams? So you heard that comment from Steve. So what it does, there was some outages that Steve popped up there, and RingCentral continues to function as you saw that we had 5 or 6 nines of reliability with RingCentral, where Teams gives you maybe four nines, if that. So the key here is you can see that I have RingCentral that's embedded directly into the Teams application. You still get your Teams functionality for chats. You still get your Teams functionality for all of the different teams that you have, your calendaring, et cetera, your OneDrive integration. But RingCentral becomes the telephony component that's embedded directly into Teams, so you never have to leave Teams to make and take phone calls from individuals that are out in that public switch telephone network. So we mentioned that we're providing you with the phone services. So here on the left-hand side, you can see that I'm showing you all of my call activity for every single conversation that I've had going back for years. Because I forgot to mention that, I've been with RingCentral for 6 years. So I've seen the progression of us making the moves through all of the different applications and enhancements, et cetera, that we've been doing. So the next portion of this is you can see that I have voicemail functionality here as well. I can see that there were calls recorded. If I go look here, you can see that I actually create a transcript of this call, so you can see everything that is actually happening and just read it and or listen to it. I can also send you all of this particular data into your Outlook inbox as well, so you don't have to come here if you choose not to. We also support call recordings. None of these have a tremendous amount of data in them, but you can see here that we created call transcripts and summaries. This call transcripts and summaries is what Steve was talking about with RingSense for RingEX. That's a portion of this, and it's all built in and works in conjunction with the Teams embedded dialer as well. So there were two functions and capabilities that Steve mentioned that Teams does not do, and that's text and fax. So here with a text, if you wanted to create, you simply click. It says, which phone number are you texting from? This is my real RingCentral DID that I use for voice, fax, text, everything. It's for my mobile connectivity as well. So the simplicity here is just input somebody's number if you have their number in your database, or input any 10-digit phone number. Once you decide you want to text, so let's say if I put in Shannon and Steve, and we'll pick a Steve. The reason I like to point this out is this functions exactly like you're accustomed to with your iPhones or your Androids if you're doing group text messaging. If you want to send it one-to-many, you can simply unclick that. I would send a message. If they respond, it just comes back to me. So it gives you some really nice SMS, MMS functionality, because you can see I can attach files, emojis, etc. Faxing, next piece that's not supported within Teams. We give you a very easy functional capability. Enter a fax number, pick a cover page or create your own. It's all there and available for you, and put up to a 50 meg file. The notes would be what appears on the cover page, and then a 50 meg file that you want to send. Click send now, or you can schedule that as well. If you wanted to see a fax here, it's going to open another browser page here, but that's what that would look like, and it would come in under the browser. Okay, so let's move on. We do have the concept of a heads-up display. Extremely important, because one of the things that we do extremely well is presence and presence sync between the RingCentral application that's embedded and the Teams environment. So we can see everybody's status and state. If there's any changes or etc., then we can see that as well. I'm going to place a call into there just so you can see what that looks like. Okay. So where the call is coming in. Here's my RingCentral for Teams. I'm going to mute so we don't get a bunch of crosstalk. Move that just slightly so everything comes out there. So here's all of the capabilities you can see that we have. Now, with the presence and everything that we see here, if I wanted to transfer this call to Ken, for example, I can simply hover over, hit the transfer button, and it says, how do you want to do that? So I've got, Ken is offline, so I'd probably send it to his voicemail, but you have those capabilities. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end that call. And then the next portion here of the embedded application are your contacts. So again, we keep everything synchronized between the company contacts, which are everything that's created within the RingCentral directory. And then we also import all of your Azure AD contacts or global address list contacts as well. We can do that. It depends on how you want to configure it. And then obviously each individual can import their own personal contacts into the directory as well. So there was a comment that we made about RingSense, fully supported with our embedded application for RingSense for RingEX embedded into Microsoft Teams. And then we also have access to our Analytics Pro web page, so you can go get all of the analytical type data that you would need for tracking any type of interactions, your call queues, or whatever the case may be. So that was a pretty quick introduction to our Teams embedded dialer, but I'm going to move that out of the way now and talk more about the RingSense for Sales. So give me 1 second.
And Dennis, while you're pulling up the screen, the customers that are on the call, please use the Q&A. We'd love to hear from all of you and answer any questions you might have.
Okay. So now you can see that I'm in our RingSense for Sales. So the key is number one is, what is RingSense for Sales? So it's an AI generated call tracking application that tracks all of your sales folks' calls and interactions. It will also utilize all of that data to keep your CRM application updated automatically. So any types of to-dos, tasks, etc., it updates those automatically. It will provide you with the abilities to go in and search through data and find those needles in a haystack that you need to deal with. And then it will also give you a tremendous amount of information to help coach representatives that you have. So you can have your top performers, and lower performers, and we can get them coached up to being also top performers. So the key with RingSense for Sales is, number one, how quickly can it be installed? So I'm going to show you just a little bit from an administrative perspective that we can actually have RingSense for Sales installed in your organization and fully functional in a day, in some cases, hours. So when we come in and create we're starting to set up and define what the AI engine is looking to do for you. So in this case, I have an industry selected of sales, because there's 4 areas that I need to actually set up so the AI engine understands and knows what we're going to be utilizing that engine for. So in this case, I have a tremendous amount of different industries that you can select from. And the key with that is those are automatically pulling in some of your trackers and pulling in some of your scorecards that are pre-configured for those specific industries. Now, once I pick an industry, I can start defining what are the call types that I'm expecting to receive. So for insurance, you would expect new policies, claims, policy servicing, etc. And you can create as many of those as you choose. And then here you can actually start redacting information from your transcripts if you're taking credit card numbers or bank numbers or social security numbers, etc. Now, if we want to make the AI engine smarter and smarter, we can start putting some custom vocabularies in here. So custom words, phrases, etc. can be put in there. And then once we configure all of that, we simply do an update, and now the AI engine is configured and ready to start performing for you. So then we can simply go look at some of the calls, and we'll go to team calls here to get us a little bit more data to look at. So some of what we're doing is how do we define those needles in a haystack that you want to go look at? So here you can see most of these calls were good, and I'm going to show you there's a multitude of data you're seeing on the screen. First and foremost, the AI score of that call. We give you a description of how the AI engine scored the call, and then you can determine if you need to do any additional review. Now, if we look through some of these, we finally get to a call that's the AI engine scored lower. So it's a 1 to 10 rating. So anything less than a 7 turns orange. So we need to probably take a look at that. So you can simply drill into there and you can start seeing an overview of that conversation. So a quick overview. What was discussed, the topics. Here's a complete summary of that conversation. We can start seeing the AI comments. There's your scoring insights that were utilized to rate that call. We can start seeing, why it was rated low. And I think, well, maybe we should dig into that. So I can go into the call details. Oh, that was strange. Okay. Let's go back to that call. It is a demo environment, so all right. So let's go fine. Let's just pick this one. If we go in and look at the AI coaching, I showed you that we can see trackers. So trackers, what is that? This is the information that is presented to the AI engine is using these to determine how well the agent or the salesperson is questioning, handling objections, are they closing, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll jump into those in just a minute. So before we go into the rest of these, let's just jump into call details because there's a bunch of actual speech analytics here that we're providing within the application that can be presented to the agent as well as to a coach. So here you can see sentiment, we have energy, we have talk time, and I'm going to show you some reporting where based on how the speech analytics are defined will also correlate with closed won deal opportunities. So the cool thing here is you can go in here and you can listen to everything in this particular meeting. You can go simply look at the entire transcript. You can look at the AI insights, scoring insights. You can see which trackers, again, same, all that detail. The question and answer. So for example, if I'm the agent and I'm like, I forgot what I said, or I forgot the answer to that question, you can go in and search and find that. And then you also have next steps. For participant, you can also see next steps for, is there somebody from the customer? Okay, so that's all there available. So from here, I'd like to just show you the deals because I mentioned to you that we do keep CRMs updated. So I'm going to first and foremost take us to the win-loss because this provides some information that's extremely critical to the organization. So I mentioned some reports and those speech analytics, number of calls, the deal duration, talk time, talk to listen ratio, interruptions, and you can see I have a whole list here. So let's see, engaging questions. So let's drill into that and see what our win rates are. So when you're asking more than 25 engaging questions, our win rate goes to 100%. Below 50 or below 25 down to 15, you can see that. So now we can correlate all of this information and make some decisions on what do we need to do from a coaching perspective so to ensure that our agents are saying the right things. And you can drill into any one of those. Okay, so that's some extremely good insights. Now, if we go look at deals and we want to start finding those, again, needle in the haystacks, we can go see the same types of information in here from a deal perspective, life sciences, red, green. But I like to go in here and look at Go Trucking. So there's some very key insights that you're finding out about opportunities. Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Etc. So here you can see that we have some customer objections. So that's an automatic report generated by the AI engine based on information that was spoken. You can see the top topics that were discussed. We can see win factors as to why we would expect to win this opportunity. So it's giving you all of those. And the great thing is there's no loss factors. So it's unlikely based on the AI engine that we should lose this deal. And in this particular case, we didn't. But the nice thing here is now I can see the insights. Now I can actually go look at those calls that generated all of that as well. All of that detail is there for me. Now, the real key, as I mentioned to you a moment ago, is we're also updating your CRM. So let's pop over and see what happens there. So I'm going to log into, we have a Salesforce integrated with this particular demo. And you can see here that I came into the Go Trucking opportunity. And here are those interactions. So the first one is I need to send a quote. So I immediately updated this individual to say, you need to create and send a quote. And you can, with Darren Mitchell, and you can go see that that was part of that conversation within the transcript on RingSense. Here, we're giving you the entire log of that conversation. So it's here, it's available. There's the link to the RingSense details if you wanted to go from here to there. But there's all of the information that was in the RingSense application as well. So we don't only to push to Salesforce, we pull from Salesforce as well. So company name, owner, deal stage, value, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that is the big key piece. We also provide the abilities to coach. I'd like to go look at these power skills because these, as you saw in my little insights, comparing your win-loss ratios, talk to listen ratio, it's telling you exactly what those are. The energy, exactly what those are. And how does that energy correlate with, the rest of the team? Are we doing well? Team average versus SAM, et cetera. So you can drill into any of that information that you choose to. Trackers. So here is where we can really start understanding, are the trackers that we're utilizing. Let me go get some more data. Are they working? Are we getting to the opportunities that we need to get to? So when I say trackers, it's, the candidate, objection handling, support, how many times those particular trackers were mentioned based on the sales reps that we have. And then that's going to correlate with some data down here. How many times were those spoken? And then how do they correlate to my win-loss ratios? It tells me right here, if I'm handling objections well, my close won rate goes up very high. Okay, so you can see that based on, you can just keep taking these away, and now there's my close won, and you can drill into each one of those. And if you want, you can click in and see the deal correlation and the trackers associated with that specific deal. Okay, so let's go back. This is for the agents, and I'm getting close on time, so I'm going to jump here for the customer because these are your nuggets that can completely change how you're advertising, setting pricing for your products, et cetera. So there's these reports are extremely useful. So the first thing that I'd like to show you on the customer side is the competition. So if your agents obviously are selling something, usually there's some competitors. This happens to be an insurance configuration. So here you can see that these top 3 competitors have been mentioned. So from our marketing side, it's like, why are they being mentioned to our reps so often? And then secondly, what are the objections that our reps are hearing from our potential customers? Pricing, big one. So we have a pricing issue. We're seeing competition being mentioned many times. So we need to work on something there to bring our products back in line, do a better job advertising, selling value, or maybe our pricing is just too high. But these are the types of insights that can really change the way you're doing business and increase win rates for all of your sales reps and obviously for the organization. And we have about 9 minutes left. Was there a wrap-up question and answer session that we were going to do, or can I go on?
You can go. I think if you just leave us with like 4 or 5 minutes, Dennis, we're good. If you have a couple more things.
Okay. So next thing is our libraries. So one of the keys with sales organizations is attrition. So bringing on new salespeople. How easy can we make it for the onboarding process? Well, we have tons and tons and tons of data now. Accurate sales, conversation, data, meetings, etc., that we have now stored, recorded, and are now available to you to use for training purposes. So, I don't want my agents should not be discounted. Well, maybe we have too many calls that are where we're talking about discounting. We need to, number one, go in and review those and understand those insights that I just showed you. Was our competition being mentioned? Was our pricing too high, et cetera? So then we could use those recordings to send to our marketing department and make changes. If we're, have our great calls, we can have a library of onboarding calls that they should go listen to, et cetera, et cetera. So the amount of data here that you can get is substantial. We do some incredible integrations. I'm just going to pop back over there real quick and show you the CRMs that we already integrate to. This is where we were integrated with Salesforce. Here's the fields that we can import from Salesforce, the fields that we push to Salesforce, so we can keep both sides of that or the updates 100% up to date. We do integrate with a bunch, so Dynamics, Zoho, you can see our phone and conferencing solutions. RingCX was mentioned, our nice CX1, RingCentral Contact Center, our phone, our video solution, all calendaring and Office 365, all integrated into the application. So with that, I'm going to stop because we have about 6 minutes, and I will stop sharing.
Thank you. Nice job, Dennis. That was great. We are going to get to giveaway here, and Stephanie, I don't know if you have a winner for us for the raffle for the Beats headphones.
I do. I have a winner. Drum roll, please. It is Austin. Austin, so we will reach out to you afterwards to get your address and everything, but thank you for joining and congratulations. New
Awesome.
owner of Beats headphones.
Great.
Congratulations, Austin. Nice work. And then, hey, thank you, Joel, for having us today. Let you close this out, but appreciate everybody joining.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everybody. If anyone has any questions, reach out to me or your sales rep directly, and we'll get a personalized demo going for you guys, or just a conversation. But we really appreciate everybody joining, and thank you, RingCentral, for making this possible as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, PremCom team. But yeah, anyone on the call, if you do want any follow-up, please do make sure you reach out to PremCom there, and they can get you going with RingCentral or all that. So thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone.